Look, there is sun. What a sight. I haven't seen that in three weeks or more. Look at that. Almost blue sky, but it's gonna rain all day. Spring is finally coming. We have had winter-like weather for, this is May, and we've had winter-like weather. So I wanted to come out and get a look at that sun, which is a very rare sight these days, before it goes away and fades to rain. And the day is ending just about how it began. You can almost see the sun. Now it rained all day, but let me show you what I cleaned up the last of this mulch pile by our picnic table up in front of the garden. I got some fence pieces I'm putting around trees because the rabbits are getting them. Up in here, see the rabbit, it ate down every piece of my roses, killed all my roses from last year, sadly. I am putting a border around this grow bed, and then I'm going to mulch heavily on the inside perimeter of it. I've got to put protection around everything. The rabbits are digging through, and I'm starting some stepping stones with what you call cookies from firewood cast off, and I'm gonna really work in this one this year. I'm gonna, when the plants come up, and they're starting to, there's some peppermint, or some kind of a mint family I should say. I think that was chocolate, but I can't remember exactly. I've heavily mulched here. It looks beautiful, really. And I'm probably gonna put more around the perimeter so that weeds can't break through. That has been a weed-free grow bed. And I added some herbs that I grew from seed last year that survived the winter in the little potting tray. Amazing. So I got them in there. And then I had, you might remember last year I threw all our tree bark on the ground here, and Melanie and I decided we didn't like it really. It's nicer to have grass. So I started raking it up into a pile, and that pile started to grow. And I thought, like, you know what, that's another herb bed. So I brought all that mulch over here, and I'm making a very large herb bed. You can see the wheelbarrow in comparison. I'm making a very large but more flat-topped herb bed, because over here, this one, nothing on top, on the very top, survives. I don't know why. I did put some more of the herbs that I grew from seed here, and 2 more there, 1, 2, and 3. Hope they live, we'll see, because nothing has survived on top of this, ever. Nothing. So, I don't know why. I have to figure that one out. But, back over here. Oh, the wind picked up all of a sudden. I'll have a more flat top, so there won't be any erosion like there is in that one. And I think that's the biggest deal, erosion. So this will be a flatter top, and I'm more gonna plant on the top and the top side of the slope all the way around, and leave the rest heavy mulch so that weeds can't get through. And then it was still raining, and I was still motivated, and so I dug a hole. Do you remember that? I finally got the pond in. That only took 40 minutes. And then I threw the sand over here, and I took the sod, and I saved the sod. I packed it up. I gotta get it in there a little bit nicer. But I packed the sod up around the sides, and I'm gonna take some more sand and pack in around and fill in those gaps so that won't erode. And hopefully that sod will take and live. Hopefully, that's my goal. Up here, I'm gonna put some stones and gravel, and maybe some I don't know, some kind of a plant that would fit and look nice with an aquarium. I'm not sure yet what I want to do. I may even, maybe put a waterproofed membrane here underneath, just under the surface, and then have water-like plants in here. But I haven't figured that out yet. Now the idea is to have a solar fountain pick up water from in here, run it underneath a tube down here and go up into here and refresh into here and have a continuous flow all day long and every day. So I'm going to have a waterproof membrane through here and a little bit of a channel, and then that'll flow on into there. So I got some landscaping to do, but this is something I had wanted to do for a long time. And then I'll take some beautiful gravel that I save out of my own yard from all my diggings and gold panning and prospecting. All the gravel gets sorted, and I'll put the stones around, and I'll figure out some kind of a, you know, a nice beautiful layout for this. So I've still got to fill in with some loose sand down in the gaps around this, backfill that nice so there won't be any problems, but it's looking good. I'm gonna plug that hole. I don't know if I want to use that hole for the water fountain or not. I might, but generally the solar water pump is going to be down in the bottom its own self, and then when the sun shines, it'll push the water up. So that's the idea. It won't be much water because I can't afford a big solar water pump. I've got to plug off that hole. Like I said, I'm probably going to put something down in there and plug that off nice. We might get some little tiny goldfish, and then maybe even get a solar heater for this and see if we can keep it through the winter. It'll be down a ways. The top will freeze, but if we can keep something going, and even if it flows, if there's flowing water, we'll see what happens. But definitely frogs are going to come in, mosquitoes will come in, so I'm going to have little goldfish to eat the mosquito larvae. But frogs will come in. We'll have a beautiful little landscape here in my herb garden. Something I always wanted, and that was always a low spot, and I always had that vision of having a pond there. So there they are. Anyway, that was my day. Doesn't sound like much when you're sitting here looking at it, but that was a day of work in the rain. Very brief video. That's it for now. Oh, by the way, this isn't done by far. Next, okay, what I've got is massive amounts of mulch, and underneath is a little bit of tree slabs. I was just cleaning up the area, but then I'm going to put on straw, and then on top of the straw, I'm going to put on soil, and then some compost, and then some more mulch, and then I'll plant in that. And that's what I've done in all my beds so far. They got 3 of them, and they're quite successful. They're growing up well, they're reseeding well, and everything's good. Everything comes back. So there's the one, that was my first ever. My second, erosion, top's no good. Top steep hill, bad. And then my third, that was always there. That was, it's not very fertile. I'm still struggling to bring that to life. And that was my third, beautiful. Probably gonna really, really look good this year. And then 4. So hopefully I'll have some better weather and I can show you. That's a little tree that I saved from the rabbit. Little apple tree. And that came off this one. It keeps giving us babies. Won't know for 7 years what they are, but I'll keep saving them. We can always cut them down if we don't like them. We'll see. Yesterday, when the drones were buzzing my head, well, before they buzzed my head, I cut up about 2.5 face cord of oak. These were all the crooked pieces from the tree service job. Oh, look, there's another owl head. Upside down or right side up. Well, anyway, there's some eyes. I might keep pieces like that. I don't know. But I was loading these into the truck when I was getting buzzed on my second trip. Did my first trip in peace, and on the second load I was getting buzzed heavily, so it took me longer. But there's a nice batch of wood to be processed. Rained all day, so I didn't get to do it. Hey everybody, got a package in the mail from ThruNite. There's a label on the box. There's a little box this time. Let's see what we got here. It says Catapult something. Desert Tan. That's a chubby little light. Look at that. This is the Catapult Mini V2. Alright, in Desert Tan. I like that. USB charging port. Typical ThruNite now. And we've got a little manual. And we got a, let me see, typical ThruNite packet with washers and a lanyard. And a spare, probably a spare charging port cover in there. And always they give us a cable. That's good. ThruNite's always packed in a very rugged box. I actually reuse these boxes for a lot of different things. They're strong. And with ThruNite now, they've changed things. They come with the cap loose so that the battery cannot be engaged, the light can't be turned on in shipping. They used to have a little insert in there, but they did away with that. Let me see if that... Oh wow, boy, that is bright. This tiny little thing has an insane power of over 1,100 lumens. This little light, that is a lot of light for that little thing. Right now, it's not locked. If you click the button 4 times quickly, it blinks 3 times and lets you know it's now in lockout mode. That is really awesome. You gotta do it quickly. And now it won't turn on anymore. To get it back out of lockout mode 4 times quickly. Oops, did I do it? Nope. There you go, really fast. There's not much chance of that ever getting knocked out of lockout mode, bouncing around in your purse, backpack, or vehicle. I like that a lot. That's a really cool new feature. This has your typical ThruNite Firefly. Hold in long press when it's off, and you get your Firefly mode, which I love very much, and I use it heavily. It's only 0.6 lumens and lasts for 85 hours. So we use these for like night lighting. You can keep a ThruNite flashlight on for home power outages and emergencies because it'll always be there, and the battery lasts like 85 hours. That's a long time just to leave it on. That's days and days and days as a night light. Then it's got the when you turn it on, you can cycle through. Let me see what we're on. Low, medium, high. Okay. And that ranges from 70 lumens to 160 lumens to 331 lumens. And then you can go into turbo. I have to look away. 1,100 lumens. That is blinding. To keep that low for indoors here. And then, really unique, this one has triple click. Alright. And then you can press and cycle through beacon mode and press the button again, and then you got SOS and press the button again and you've got the blinding flash. That is really unique. So you've got beacon, flashing, blinding, and SOS. This has your typical ThruNite impact resistance and waterproofing, and we'll be checking this out in all detail and putting it through the works, so stay tuned for that. Check the links down below and get yourself one. It's one of my favorites that I've had in my hand from ThruNite already. I love the unique features. Really cool. I love the lockout because that is going to be even harder to accidentally bump on.